What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be removing and replacing the brake pads and brake rotors. So if you guys haven't seen my previous video, I did an unboxing on all the stuff that I bought for doing this. So I got all the rotors and the pads over here. So far, what I've done is I've loosened the lug nuts and I'm starting to jack up the car right now. So if you guys want to follow this video as well to do your own on your Integra, I'll try to do a little tutorial for you guys as well. So as I'm doing it, I'll show you guys what I'm doing. So anyways, yeah, so the first thing that I did is I put the jack on the pinch weld. It's kind of hard to see down there, but it's definitely on the pinch weld. You'll find it on your car. But anyways, yeah, so we want to put the jack there and then loosen the lug nuts with the tire still on the ground. Otherwise, it's just going to spin in the air. So that's what I'm doing so far. I just have to get the last security bit off and then I'll remove the tire. Alright, so I just took the wheel off like you guys saw. Also, if you guys didn't know where the bleeder valve was, it's actually under this little thing right here. It's just on the back of the rotor. I mean on the back of the brake caliper. So anyways, yeah, so what you're going to want to do first is actually loosen the caliper on the back side, which I'll show you guys the screws. So on the back of the brake caliper, you're going to want to loosen this one and this one to take it completely off. And the same thing at the bottom, you're going to want to loosen this one, and then there's another one back there as well. You'll find them. It's the same spot as up here, it's just the ones below it. Alright, so this back one will not come off no matter what I do. So I decided just to get a hammer. So I couldn't get those back ones off yet, so I'm going to have to find something stronger to get those off with. But if you just loosen those two little ones, then you should be able to pop this off. Now, it'd be great if you had a caliper hanger, but I don't. So I guess I'll just rest mine. So I'm just going to go ahead and rest it on this jack stand right here. You want to make sure it doesn't fall either, because it could tug on that wire. So anyways, yeah, so from here, should be able to just take out your pads like no problem. As you guys can see, this thing is low, like probably 2 to 3 millimeters low. So take off both sides. Now I would say you should be able to put your new pads in right now, but the problem is we still have to get this off so we can get the rotor off as well. So we're gonna have to figure out a way to get these ones back here. Now I've been having trouble with that, so I'm gonna have to get like a breaker bar or something to get those off, because those things are stuck on there. Alright, I was finally able to get it off. Jeez. Alright, well I got this one off. I bet the bottom one's gonna be even more of a pain in the butt. So what I actually did was hold this here. Actually, you guys can barely see. So I held this here and I just hit it with a hammer, and that didn't work. So eventually I just pulled it with all my strength and it finally came off. So I don't know, if it gets stuck, try to find a breaker bar or shoot it with some WD-40 or some penetrant. So let's go ahead, let's get this one off, and we are going to move on to the bottom one, which is going to be much harder. So I was finally able to get this off. I actually scraped my hand on the car, but whatever, you know, it's just gonna happen. Also, I suggest wearing gloves, because as you guys can see, you get pretty dirty. I didn't have any on hand, but anyways, yeah, so keep all your nuts and bolts, or just bolts together. Make sure you know which ones go where. These ones obviously were the bigger ones, so those go on the back. These go on the little top. So I'm gonna real quick go get a screwdriver, because for this brake, you actually have to take out these little bolts right here. So I'm gonna go get a screwdriver, unscrew those, and then from there, hopefully this thing will just be able to pop off. So we just got those screws out. I almost stripped one of them, I got lucky. But anyways, yeah, so from there, the rotor just pops off, and you're ready to install your new rotor and your brake pads. So here's the brand new rotor. We're gonna slip this on. Don't get your finger stuck in there like I did. And then you're going to want to put those screws in that you just took out right here. So I just put the rotor back on. So I tightened these. I don't actually have a torque wrench, but just tighten them till they're pretty tight. Don't over tighten them because they might snap. So just be careful with that. But you know, It's tight enough. So from here, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to pop this thing right back on. So now what we're going to do is put your brand new brake pads on. Now you could remember this by this one is the back one because it has that really long thing, and you could also see where the piston runs up against the bracket. So this one's the front one, or whatever, this one's the first one right here. So what you want to do is kind of slide it in, get it in between, and then just push it up against it. That's all you got to do. Same thing with the one on the back, like I said, has this thing facing outward. So just put it on. So I got both of them on. I got this one on and the back one. So like I said, make sure that little thing right here is coming out. That's not on all cars, but just with the Integra. So yeah, so they're all lined up. Make sure they're pretty secure. And now comes kind of the tricky part. So like I said, this is probably gonna be the hardest part, and that is collapsing the caliper piston. Let me get that in the angle. So what I usually do at school is we use it's like a big wrench, but a lot of people actually just use like a C-clamp. Now this one's probably way too big, but it'll work. But you just need something to be able to screw in and compress the piston. So I'm gonna show you guys that right now. So here's the little setup I have. I screwed the bolt in right back here so it could swivel, and then I have the other side held up by a jack stand. Now I have this positioned, so all you have to do from here is just slowly just bring it in. Now you want to make sure it's all lined up on the back too. Now you want to do this slowly. You don't want to do it all at once. So I'm just going to collapse it all the way till it's flush with the housing on the caliper. So once you compress the piston fully, it should be able to just slide over. You might have to squeeze the pads a little bit, but it should generally just go straight back on. So from here, what you want to do is just reassemble the brake how you had it before. So after you got everything all tightened up here, then we're ready to move on to the rear. So for the rear, just take off the tire first. Like I said, just repeat the basic steps. So you basically want to repeat the process the same for the back. There's a couple of differences though. But starting us off, you want to remove this little shield right here. There's a 10mm bolt here, and then there's one also in the back there. So you want to remove that shield first, and then you want to remove the caliper again. So I believe it is a 12, and then on the back it's 14 on the back, on the rear of the vehicle. So once you remove those two bolts, this should be able to pop off. And also, I forgot to take those bolts off, my bad, but I'll take those off in a second. I just want to show you guys this. Right here, as you guys can see, it's kind of like a screw. So in order to get this back in, the piston into the caliper, I found like a little way to do this. Let me real quick go get my wrench. But anyways, so what I do, if you do not have the tool, you could use needle nose pliers, or what I do is I find a wrench that kind of fits. It fits in the grooves nicely, and I get a wrench and turn it on this side. So I'll show you guys what I mean in a sec. So I'm gonna show you guys this again. So what you do, find a wrench, like I said, that fits inside this groove. You can get the tool too, but this is just if you don't have it. So once it's in the groove, you want to get pliers, hold it really firmly, and hold the back, and turn it slowly. And it should start turning. It's going to take a little bit of force, but you want to twist and push in at the same time. So it's kind of hard to do. You can do this with needle nose pliers as well. This is all I have though. So you want to twist it till it's about flush with the housing. And I'll get back to you guys once I'm done with that. Alright, so I skipped a step on accident. What you're going to do here is kind of just hit it around, because this thing does not come off too easily. and just like that, it comes off. Boom. So from here, just put the new one on, just like the front, and screw in your little screws. So what you do from here is you actually just slip in your new pads. There we go. And then once again on the back. And after this, all you do, bring the caliper around and you put it on top, but I actually did not turn mine enough, so I'll be right back. So I was finally able to get this back on. So what you're gonna do from here, just screw in the two in the back and then put this little backing plate back on, and that's it. So I'll get back to you guys once I get done with the rest of the brakes. Still have the front one to do. Already did one of the rear ones off camera. So anyways, yeah, so I'm gonna finish this up, finish the front up, and then I'll get back to you guys. Alright, so I'm finally done putting on the new brakes and pads. Now, what is really weird is when I check my brake pads, I only check that one, and some of the others aren't as worn down. You can't really see from that angle, but it's not as worn down as the other one. So I don't know, there might be a problem there. But I drove it around the neighborhood, seems pretty good. Still need to bleed the brakes. The pedal does feel a little spongy, so I really do need to bleed the brakes. So anyways, yeah, so that's it for this video today, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to leave a like, check out my other videos, subscribe if you're not already, because I'll be doing tons and tons of stuff for this car, tutorials, how-tos, and a bunch of mods. So that's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.